Hey guys, Sean Zine, the host for the Network Marketing Insider, where I bring on network marketers, affiliate marketers, multi-level marketers, and token creators, specifically in the Algorand blockchain, because I think that's the blockchain that everyone should be on. And what you're going to be doing, those that are watching, the first thing you should do is hit subscribe on this platform, hit a like button, and drop a comment where you're watching from. If you are supportive of what we're doing, please don't forget to share this so we can help more people. And last but not least, I want to make sure you go to the description of this video, reach out to my guests, connect, follow them on socials, take a look at what they're doing, and let's get started. Let me bring on my next token creator. We have Marcus Furrelius. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Sean? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for bringing some value today and being afraid. Well, you're not on camera, but you are not afraid to bring some value and teach and educate, and I appreciate that. So I definitely I know time is limited on a lot of us, so I want to get after it. And I want to first thing I always say is, who are you, and why did you get started in the token creation?
Yeah, well, I'm Marcus, the creator behind Marcus Furrelius. Man, the story behind starting the Marcus token and the Marcus verse, I'm not quite sure where to start. I've always had an interest in the blockchain and crypto. I have had a long career in software, successful career, and it was always on my to-do list to write some code on a blockchain. Was really just the idea of tickling that interest. And full disclosure, started on Solana, really following projects like Print Protocol, which is now called Print Fun, and their Token 22 program extensions. I thought there were some interesting use cases there, but I also then got caught up in the buying the meme coins and kind of gambling side of Solana, and it was fun. I mean, I lost my ass on it, but uh, you know, and and from that, so while I was in that ecosystem, I created a persona for myself. I'm a lover of stoicism, um, and I just what and I've had a good fortune of creating a couple of brands in my life, and so I just had the good fortune of finding Marcus Furrelius handle across X, Instagram, TikTok. Like, you don't ever find that where you can get your brand everywhere. I created this cat avatar parody of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, and it just really took off. And I'm not a creative person. My background is in software and chemistry, not art and thinking this way. And and my wife really, she saw much joy it brought me to be Marcus, in Telegram, on Discord, on X, and she encouraged me to go after it. So, I had Marcus professionally drawn, because you can't copyright or trademark AI stuff. Very thankful for that. And, we started building a brand around it, and the token launch, and the idea here, especially coming from Solana, where you're on Solana, you're somebody's exit liquidity. Uh, and I really wanted to experiment with doing this differently. Like, could I bring in revenue outside of the ecosystem and use that to build value for the Marcus holders, right? And so we have the token and we have fun with that. A meme coin with a mission, if you will. But we also will have digital products, like we have NFTs coming. We also have physical products that we're waiting to launch as soon as Kraken approves our business accounts. And so that's kind of the thesis and how it started.
No, it's awesome, man. I appreciate the well thought out transparency, and I love that. There's a couple of questions that you actually answered. I wanted to come up with. Well, for one, what do you see the difference as far as Solano and Algorand? And I've only been on Algorand. My mentor has been involved with Algorand, Scott Gerard. He's created a couple of tokens. But we're trying to get, and I think if we could start marketing on other platforms to pull to Algorand, how do we get to those type of individuals? How are they on X? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you had a couple of questions there. One is kind of the differences in Solana and Algorand and what attracted me to chain, and then how to pull people over. And I think I can touch on both.
Yep.
I've been interested in Algorand long before I got to the space of my life to start trying to write code on the blockchain. I found it in Coinbase. It was paying, I forget, maybe 5% APR just for having it in your Coinbase wallet. I like passive income, and I researched it as a technology. I was just writing in my community about that because I know there's been some hate, especially on X, which can be an echo chamber. I like
True.
the
True.
fact, yeah, I love the fact that they have the Algorand Foundation. They have true professionals with experience in banking and economics and crypto and all these things, trying to drive true adoption. I love the fact that it's a limited supply, right? So as soon as that supply, like I don't mind that the Algorand Foundation is sell. I wish kind of they would just sell everything and like let's just get to
Right.
all supply released, you know. And so from a tokenomics and standpoint, I found that to be attractive. Whereas Solana, right, it's unlimited supply. It's still in beta. We know that it fails sometimes. I mean, truly, Marcus could be blockchain independent. Like there's no technical aspect that makes it have to be on Algorand. Although we are about to release some utility, and I'm working with the developer of Mooj on this, and we had to figure out how to do it on Algorand, where it would have been pretty straightforward on Solana. So there was an advantage there, but overall, like Solana's like a casino. There's some great projects. Like I'll give a shout out to Print Fund, Print Protocol. Like they inspired me. Great projects, but the volume comes from people scamming people or cabals like blowing up
Yeah.
prices and making people think they can get rich, or hell, even our own president at times, right? Uh, and so like from an investment standpoint, personally, Algorand's a much more attractive investment in technology overall. And your second question was, how do we begin to pull people over? And our friend, longtime Algorand supporter, Kat, really been questioning this a lot. I know I wish he'd come back home to Algorand, but I mean, I think he does have some points. How do you begin to get some of those eyeballs and interest over on chain? I love Algorand's focused on like real world applications. Like there's the utility company, and I think Afghanistan that's adopted as payment rails. I know there's a solar project, I think in Europe, that looks really interesting. And I love that. And I think we have some good people creating some cool projects and games. I love Realms. I love what Ku's doing, with his mobile game. So that's all cool, but it does lack the attention that Solana gets, right? But also don't think we want, to bring that level of cabal and coordination
True.
over,
Very true.
So I've been trying. So like, I don't know if yesterday I started exploring this idea of like, how could I reach out to top tier projects on Base and Solana and work with their devs and their owners to kind of offer an onboarding package. And I just threw it out there, but we saw Realms jump in, and we saw Cosmic Champs and Simon jump in, right? I love them. And they're like, hey, we'll contribute this too. Now, how do we do it without just giving tokens and people creating sell pressure? We got to think through that. But that's an example. And then I did a post. I usually just post Algorand, but I did a post about Solana this morning and Print Fun, and it got some engagement. It gave me the opportunity to respond to someone in that community that I knew, and they asked like, what should I buy on Algorand? So I think sometimes we can be a bit myopic, and think one chain, let's only talk about it. If you talk about something else, I'm an algo bull, or cat, if you will, but right, but just the fact that this is an interesting project on another chain, Print, and they're doing something cool, and me talking about it on X gave me the opportunity to create a conversation, right? And I imagine, because I'm a good community member for that community, I imagine a few people will buy Marcus, or at least reach out to DMs and say, okay, how do I onboard to Algorand? And that would be the hope.
A lot of times it is all about if they know you, they like you, and they trust you. So yes, if you're putting out good content, you're consistent, people are engaging it, you're becoming something. And yes, they're gonna trust you. They're gonna be like, how much should I buy? And I do a lot of conversations in the DMs, and people are saying, wait, that's where all magic happens. All the magic happens in the DM, actually having calls, video calls, you're setting up, in-person meetings. You gotta always focus on building, and that's all about relationships. And I like how you're building your own community. You have a Discord and you have a Telegram. I don't have that for my token yet. What do you see? And I think what is the benefit of having a Discord or a Telegram?
Yeah, with Telegram, it's I brought that over from Solana. Let me broach the subject this way. What I've found is Algorand tends to prefer Discord for their community building and announcements. And coming from the Solana world, like Telegram was the platform of choice, and that was mostly because the plethora of bots, specifically around rating activity. So can you garner 400 people, 500,000 people into your Telegram community, and can you kind of keep rating going throughout the day? Is where that comes from. And then Algorand prefers Discord, so I have to kind of run both. Uh, I'd like to do more there. Largely, it's a lot of good mornings. Good mornings is like the lifeblood of crypto. uh,
Yeah,
but between X, Discord, and Telegram, I think we reach a variety of folks. And the ultimate idea, at least in the Marcus project, is that it's not just about the Marcus token. Like, I want people in there asking or disagreeing about what's going on in the ecosystem. I'd love for people who are just interested in stoicism, or maybe have a nascent interest in crypto, to join and let us help them. At least try not to lose money right out of the gate, because it can be if you don't know the game, it can be
yes.
attractive, and then you can find yourself in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as far as network marketers have their Zoom calls weekly. It's just more personal. The more contact you have with your community, they're going to continue getting involved. They're going to have that excitement. You're going to keep motivating them. And a lot of people need that motivation because they'll have that shiny object syndrome. And I see that in the crypto world too. A lot of shiny other tokens coming up. Oh, this one's coming up. This one's coming up, and they try to jump ship and they think they're going to get rich on it and not think the mindset. The mindset, I believe, is very powerful. And if you don't have the long term, the marathon type of vision, you're going to lose a lot of money. If you're into the day trading and you're very young, and I see a lot of them don't have any money, why would you be on crypto? It's more of a gambling thing unless you know what you're doing. So I'm hoping people start learning that you gotta have some mentors as well. How did you get started as far as into crypto? I mean, a lot of people I found I was afraid of it. I didn't know about it, but my mentor laid things out for me in very great layman's terms, and I tried. I failed, but I tried. Can you talk about your experience?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit older than you, Sean. So like, I'm the guy that has a story. There's probably close to $1 million of Bitcoin in a landfill somewhere. Uh, in my first software company, my roommate, a girl there was my roommate, and she tells a story like I was the guy going around telling everybody like Bitcoin's the thing, like Bitcoin's the thing, like you got to pay attention. And I didn't know enough back then. Even if we found that PC, like I didn't really know to keep my keys and stuff like that, right? Uh, so I've been at it for a long time. It's been an interest. And then I probably didn't look at it during the Ethereum phase. I tried to mess with it stuff, and but just was busy in real life, and really got serious about it. Again, it was like in my notebook. As someone in technology, like I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to write code myself on the blockchain. And unfortunately, my mom was in the hospital for a bit, and just sitting by her bedside, and she was sleeping a lot and resting, and I just said, like, I'll pull out my laptop and start looking at some documentation and start writing code. And there you go. And it's I'm glad I did, and um, it's become a passion and something I'm really really interested in. I just did an Al Grand Foundation workshop. They did a really good job on the smart contracts, and over time hope to contribute more to the ecosystem.
So you've been in the tech field for a while, so you know what, I couldn't write code. We need a developer and we need, that. Is that something you've taught yourself or you went to school for? How does that all work? Because it's a
I
lot
taught
of time you put into that, right?
I taught myself. Um, and there's also a reason Marcus has gray hair because I got a lot of it too. Uh, I did. I taught myself probably at the end of graduate school. Started coding some different platforms, and then when I made my way um, through my career, I had a completely different career. I was a teacher for a long time, and kind of took projects at night just to help supplement a teacher's income.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yep.
right? Yeah, yeah, you get that. Uh, and it became a passion, and then I got recruited to my first software job and was a software engineer, and then kind of climbed the ladder there, doing a variety of things. But yeah, I've been in the software game about professionally like 15 years, and now in crypto just a couple. I think you're muted, Sean.
I want to share your whoops, let me pop this off. Your website with everyone. I want to show can you see this?
Yeah, again.
All right, Marcus. I want everyone to see if they're on the video on YouTube. I know those that are on the podcast listening to us, you're going to hear what we're talking about. But I thought it was interesting that you threw all these Stoic quotes on here. What is the idea around this? Do you want to have people come into this site to get more traffic, and then they learn more about Marcus? I like this. I want to find out the ins and outs of what the point of bringing this into the crypto world.
Yeah, great question. Thanks for bringing it up. It's multifaceted. Um, this is just the first version of what this platform will be, and it's heavy bias towards uh, the Marcus token because that's what the only product we had originally. But Marcus Furrelius is a parody of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher. We have three cats. If you go click the brand at the top, we have three cat personalities that represent the different major Stoic philosophers: Marcus Furrelius, Senecat, and Epictetus. Um, and we plan to build out Stoic inspired products around each of these cat personalities to make philosophy a bit more accessible. So why the quotes here? I think you're exactly right. We wanted to build some content that attracted a different audience than just a crypto audience. So if you are a lover of Stoicism, you may find these cats entertaining and an entertaining way to approach this type of philosophy. And that might get you to follow us on X. And when we release our store, we'll have physical products that will basically um, uh, attribute the Stoic quotes to their different cat counterparts, and we're going to play with that a bit. So over time, you'll see this website become not only just our crypto token, it will have our other digital product with our NFTs coming out. It will
Mm.
have physical products that have nothing to do with our token. We are toying with this, like, can we give you a bit of Marcus with your physical product if you're interested? But it's so much bigger than just the token and just the blockchain, but we're trying to tie those two worlds together. So you could participate in this Marcus universe, if you will, in several ways.
Now,
One,
I love X, and I found that X is a great platform to be on to talk about crypto because if you're on the other ones, they always shut you down. Um, how do you? I love the spaces. Can you talk about how important spaces are for you and Marcus?
well, they're going to be really important. We haven't done an official one under the Marcus Universe brand yet, but we do intend to kick those up here very soon. As far as a way to introduce your token, I did one with AOG, not too long ago. I got invited by the Solana community Soul Bay to participate in their space, and it's just a great way to reach people who otherwise don't know your token or don't know Algorand, or maybe have heard of Algorand but don't know how to onboard. I hear that a lot. Um, and just to get on a soapbox for a second, like there's this debate currently on X about like, is and should the foundation be using KOLs to like, push Algorand, and like, growth marketing is about getting eyeballs, new eyeballs on what you're doing, right? And what you're producing, and the value there. So like, I don't have any problem with it, but spaces allow you to engage kind of, one to many, but it's also very communal, right? Like people could come up and talk and ask you questions. And so I love participating in them. It's a great way to bring new holders and interest to Marcus. We do plan on beginning to host our own space. I'm working on the format. In my mind's eye, I want to find a way to do it where it's just as much about stoicism and our mission of spreading kindness everywhere as it is about me shilling Marcus. And so I got to find that right balance, right? Because truly what we're trying to do is use a variety of products, including our digital products of the token and NFTs, to just kind of like spread the message, right? Like, stoicism, a great philosophy to help you with mindset and navigating life. And my personal philosophy and our mission is like, be as kind as you can to everyone you can.
No, I love that. And yes, I believe, like just like Zig Ziglar, if you got to help as many people out get everything that they want out of life, you can get everything that you are going to want out of life. And I agree. If you can bring that branding from online to offline as well, and imagine you have Marcus and you have all the quotes, you have different things going that are shirts, there could be coffee mugs. The branding won't just, it'll be everywhere. And when you're omnipresent, now that's special because now everywhere you go, you probably see billboards. In New Jersey, there's a real estate agent that you see him on every billboard. He purposely buys every billboard. Is it a great ROI? Probably not, but he's omnipresent. Everywhere you are, there he is, and they're going to remember you. That's what we try to do in any business you're involved in. So it's great to hear that you're doing that online and trying to do it offline in the near future. The store, what do you think the ETA is on that?
Well, we have a lot of the products built. You can actually go find on X. There's a few Algo fam that have one of our coffee mugs. Um, uh, the way I first dove into stoicism myself was right, really leaving yoga and stopping at the local Waffle House and reading Ryan Holiday's Daily Stoic and drinking coffee. So there's a tie in there to like my personal experience. I have a bunch of paperwork to fill out for Kraken. We are an LLC. We have trademarks pending on the cats, and so I'm trying to do everything by the books. And so I've applied for a Kraken business account. So the LLC and to the Kraken account can all be tracked by the accountants and stuff like that. So that's the only holdup. We're ready for that. I have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot. There's a good bit of anecdotal evidence that normies really love this caricature of Marcus Aurelius. And so I think there's real potential here to reach a broad audience. And I'm excited to see that happen. So a lot of paperwork, fingers crossed, Kraken approves this very soon.
Now, online your marketing, offline your marketing. What other ways? I know a lot of times people in the network marketing field, for example, they're always doing image posts with some scripts. They might have. Are you teaching your community how to shill Marcus, or is Marcus more shilled by those influencers that are online currently?
We shill mostly from our community. A lot of folks have been, I say with Marcus, maybe not this manifestation of the project, but in projects that Solana was involved with, like we all met. So it's very organic. We have a couple of gentlemen that live in Africa that that help us raid and shill, and they really have the message down, and hopefully people, maybe it hurts the price action, but our I do some buy markets. I try to be funny with it, but mostly it's about our message, right? Of kindness and being stoic and how to approach life. And I'm sure my holders would, would like some more aggressive shilling around the token sometimes, but but then also try to have fun with it, right? I don't know if you saw that Super Troopers, the famous Super Trooper line around with the cop stops and then starts saying meow, and the guy you can't stop laughing. We did
Yes.
like a face over video with Marcus, and we try to have fun with it.
No, I agree. And I see it in all those raids that people do in these messenger groups, and it's good to get those people out there, but also setting the right expectations. A lot of people think, oh, we're going to put all the money toward it. Some people don't put a lot of money; they just wait for those raids to happen, then they dump. So I think a lot of the education is lacking, and I think the more that we help those that are involved with investing or trading, let's do it the right way. Like we're all in together, we all can grow together. Let's hold. I like that word hodl. I don't know why someone changed the word. Do you know why? Why do they call it hodling? I know it's you're
I don't know.
holding.
I assumed it was probably a mistype at some point, and some people just ran with it.
You should be holding some tokens, and a lot of people are always like, "Oh, you're going to stake." No, I think people should start farming more. Like you're putting some of your money out, set up a liquidity pool, use Cometa, don't use Gamify anymore because that just went to shit. But earn some dividends of another token that's on already Cometa. So it's powerful, but people sometimes don't want to put up their money. They're waiting for the airdrops. They're waiting for the free handouts, and then they sell them. People, let's hold on. Let's build something. Have something that's in your wallet still. Diversify. Have a couple different tokens, a couple liquidity pools. That's where everyone's going to grow together, and you're helping the community more and that token more because it's more solid because people are putting more money toward it. I think that's the more we can educate, the better. That's why I love bringing on token creators to, see the ins and outs of what we are doing on that front. And any final thoughts that you can share with us, Marcus?
Yeah. Well, I want to piggyback on that for a minute, and then I can conclude if that's okay.
Yeah.
It's something I think about a lot, and I think education is the right term for sure. We in the Marcus verse have holders from all over the world, and one thing I try to be cognizant of is everybody is not in the same economic situation that I am
Yeah.
in, or I'm sure Sean you are in, just being by the nature of being in the United States. And so for some people, if you're able to get that airdrop or farm something and sell and make a few bucks like that, that could make the difference in a day. So I don't fault anyone for doing that. I try to be mindful so I don't create too much sell pressure on our
Right.
chart. But also, like, we have to educate that, hey, like, at least I can speak for the Marcus Project. If you can hold, right, we're doing weekly buybacks. We're doing our own manual buybacks based on any revenue we bring into the project from Alpha Arcade, from Mooj, from the fees, from the Ready Node we run. We're doing automatic buybacks with dual stake. We have, whenever, depending on the price of the token, we will be buy back into the liquidity pool through Pact. So the value of those holdings are going to grow if you can hold, right? Um, yeah, and I'm sure it's true for a lot of projects, but I can only speak for my own. But like, I also understand the other side of just like $2 today could really help someone in another part of the world. And the guys that work with us out of Africa, one's in South Africa, one's in Nigeria. Like we've been talking about kind of some on the ground education that we might be able to do, and teach them how to farm other tokens and et cetera. And unfortunately, I think Marcus was probably the most impacted token on Gamify. That kind of soured
Yeah.
people to the staking, and Cometa's had some trouble too. I talk to them sometimes. I think they do a fine job. It's hard being a dev, but I think that's scared some people.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's something I think about a lot. Like, how do you balance those two things? If someone could sell a little Marcus and it makes their day better, or then go for it. It creates a little volume for me. That's okay, right? But yeah, ultimately, teaching people like hold, realize the value creation, right, and then take profits at the right time. So the only thing I would conclude with here is, first, thank you so much for reaching out to Marcus. It means the world to be able to share my thoughts and get the message out. Um, I would just really encourage people to check us out and think of us more than a meme coin. I like to say we're a real project with meme appeal. Marcus and the cats are designed for normies, not for degen kind of buyers. We are working hard to create value for all our holders. We think we can do it without a lot of using others as exit liquidity, just by the revenues we'll bring in from the products. And my only ask in this the kind of current push is, if you're on YouTube, please consider following the Marcus Furrelius channel. We are putting out one video at least a month, animated short. They're about 30 seconds that kind of have a stoic message, starring Marcus currently, but maybe the other cats in the future. And we really need to build up to about 1,000 subscribers, which I know is a big goal. But we really believe if we can get there, we can begin to expand the message and actually also eventually earn revenue from that channel, which would go back into the project. And so thanks for letting me share. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you actually shined a light on, that fact, as far as, yes, there are people all over the world that a few bucks that they can make on a sale of a couple of tokens. I opened eyes now, and I agree with you. It's something that, yes, but also the education piece. All of Marcus's information is in the description on any of the platforms you're hearing this from, on the YouTube channel, on all the Apple, Spotify, etc. Reach out, connect. Make sure you are take a look at the website, take a look at the YouTube channel, and also pick up a couple Marcus tokens, and subscribe and follow on all the socials that you'll see in the description. Take a look at Algo Adopt Airdrop, everyone. AlgoAdoptAirdrop.com. I think Marcus is on there, and as one of the top DeFis, it's a platform that teaches you how to buy, sell, stake, and farm. And that's, again, we talked about education. Take a look at it, guys. As always, I'm here to help motivate and inspire. I want you to make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video so it can help more people out in this world. Hey, Marcus, stick around for one moment. Everyone else, we hope you have an amazing rest of your day.